Hey guys, nobody's here. Come on. Hurry up. Get in here. Quickest verdict ever. An hour and 17 minutes. I'm waiting on y'all. I don't know what it is yet. I'm waiting. I'm going to have to text some people. All right, y'all. I'm going to be texting y'all. Whoop. Where is everybody? Am I going to have to do this by myself and everybody's going to be replay crew? No, I'm hot. You guys, I want to know. I'm thinking guilty because it was so quick. Are you guys going to make me watch this by myself? Seriously? I have one lurker. Okay, Judy's here. Jill's at the doctor's. Wiggles is visiting her mom. Okay. There's 2 people in here. I guess we're doing this. Oh, wait. I need to share my screen. Jill. Okay. Well, Jill, you will know by our reaction whether it's guilty or not, I'm sure. Well, you can't hear me. I'm talking to Jill. She can't hear me. No sound because jury's coming in.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
I don't know where Ken is. I need to figure out a way to DM him.
All right, sir, are you the foreman of the jury?
Yes, sir.
It's my understanding that the jury has reached a verdict.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Is it a unanimous verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has it been reduced to writing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you signed and dated it as the foreman of the jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, if you would please hand the verdict form to the bailiff. Ask the
In the Superior Court of Liberty County, State of Georgia, case number 2024R-67, State of Georgia versus Nicholas James Kassotis. Count 1, malice murder, guilty. Count 2, felony murder, guilty. Count 3, aggravated assault, guilty. Count 4, concealing death of another, guilty. Count 5, possession of a knife during the commission of a felony, guilty. Count 6, possession of a tool for the commission of a crime, guilty. Count 7, possession of a tool for the commission of a crime, guilty. Count 8, possession of a tool for the commission of a crime, guilty. Count 9, count 10, possession of tools for the commission of a crime, guilty. Count 11, removal of the body parts from the scene of the death, guilty. Count 12, tampering with evidence, guilty. On this 14th day of August 2025.
Who is this woman?
Do the attorneys wish to see the verdict to make sure that it's
She's
in proper form?
crying.
No, Your Honor.
Are there any objections to the form of the verdict?
No, Your Honor.
Are there any other requests before we go into another hearing?
Where's her mom?
No request from the defense, Your Honor.
Show mom.
If I can just have one moment, Your Honor. Nothing concerning the jury, Your Honor.
All right. And does either side wish to place anything on the record before I excuse the jury?
No, Your Honor, and I also don't seek to poll, just for the record.
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we've been here almost 2 weeks, and I wish to thank each and every one of you for your service. It is one of the highest forms of civic duty that any citizen can render to this state and this country, and we cannot resolve important cases like this without your willingness to serve. You've been diligent, you've been here every morning on time, you've been taking notes, you have done excellent work as a juror in this case, and it is sincerely appreciated, not only by me, but everybody involved in the criminal justice system. Your duty ends at this point, and I'm going to have to go into a sentencing hearing. There is one other thing that I do want to mention to you. I think you knew at the outset that this case was going to be televised, live streamed through various media outlets, and I want you to know that you have a right as a juror and as a private citizen. People may want to talk to you about this. Well, at this point, you can talk about it if you want to. That's totally within your discretion. It's my understanding that some of the media outlets may be outside. They may want to speak to you. That's solely up to you. I have no control over that. That's up to you. So when you see individuals who might be with the press or other outlets, that if you want to speak to them, that's fine. And if you don't want to speak to them, that's also fine. So there's nothing else I can tell you other than I sincerely appreciate your hard work in this case. I wish you well, and you are excused at this time. Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am. Everyone, please be seated. And I want to tell all of you, thank you very much for your service. The reason we select alternates is someone who is sick or not able to perform the duties of the jury, you would have filled in. But your was also very thoughtful and important. Thank you very much for your freedom. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be in recess for about 10 minutes, and then we will begin the sentencing hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm confused. I can't keep straight what state does it what way. It's ugh. So he excused the jury. So the jury doesn't do sentencing in Georgia. So they're going to do a sentencing hearing. So what does that mean in Georgia? Just sentencing? Like the judge is going to sentence him. The judge decides. Is there going to be impact statements and stuff? Oh, they're crying. He was afraid of you. Or supposedly. For anybody to believe his lies, they would have to believe that somebody kidnapped Mindi from the hospital. And that's not happening. I don't know. Because all the states do things differently. And I can't keep track of what state. Like in Nevada, there's more than one state that does this. But I know Nevada's one of them. The jury decides sentencing. And one we just did, the jury decides sentencing. Which one was that? And that always scares me. Because to me, sentencing should go by law. Because sometimes judges say, by law, I have to give you 15 years is the minimum, or, whatever. Like there's a law, there's a statute that says I have to give you this much time. Or the maximum I can give you. It's like really bad. They might say the maximum I can give you is such and such, but I wish I could give you more, or. So I don't like it when they let a jury decide that. Even though they give the jury the law, I still would rather a judge be deciding that. I feel like that's a judge's place to do, not a jury. I don't like it when a jury does it. Like with Bundy, I can see after, like during the trial when all those women were there because they wanted to see him, That grossed me out. Thank you, Judy. That grossed me out. Because they knew who he was. He'd already killed all those women. But before that, I can see how people would think that he was good looking and charming. But this guy, no, not at all. I don't get it. There's an episode of Criminal Minds. I'm sorry, y'all. I do that all the time, but that was the origin of my channel. And it's one of my favorite TV shows. So, anyway, there's an episode of Criminal Minds where there's a serial killer that they're onto. And he starts to devolve and get desperate. And he starts to be not so careful. And he tries to lure this woman into his car, and she realizes it because he's acting so strange that it's not safe. And he asked to use her phone. And she stopped and talked to him and was going to let him, and then he started acting strange. And when the police question her, when the FBI questioned her, they ask her, was he good looking? And she goes, what? And they said, was he good looking? And she goes, yes, that's the reason why I stopped and talked to him. Because that was the way he lured them in. He was good looking and he knew it, and that's how he got women to pay attention to him so he could lure them off into the bushes or into his car or wherever. And that's frightening. But this guy, he's not. Yeah, cleaned up like he is in court, he's still not good. He's not a toad or anything, but he's not good looking. Hey, darling. Hey, Robbie. This linoleum is so slick because it's so old. Belle gets no traction on it whatsoever, and she walks into the kitchen, and, well, this is the dining room. She walks in the night, she just flattens out. I know. And I wonder if the day that he and his dad and his uncle came to the house, I would be so mad about that and so mad about him changing his name and thinking that he was stolen at birth. Like, and thinking that someone from his family attacked him from behind. I don't know. I don't have any biological children, so I don't know what that kind of a bond feels. I don't know how trial while you hear all the bad things he said about you. You raise this person and you take care of this person and you love this person, and then I don't I just don't understand that kind of love, I guess. I don't know. Which is kind of sad if you ask me, because I just don't understand how you continue to love and support somebody that does that to you. I don't get it. And the horror of dismembering her. It's one thing. I'm not condoning murder, but it's one thing to kill somebody. It's an entirely different thing to dismember them. He needs to be on some antipsychotics. That's what he needs to be on. I gotta admit that the plot story he wrote is interesting. It's weird though, but interesting. Because he said the plot was the mother. It doesn't go with the title though. The title was My Mother in Law is Trying to Poison Me, but she wasn't poisoning the son in law, she was poisoning the daughter in order to save the daughter's life. She shot the mom and killed her. So she was poisoning the daughter to keep sick so she would stay at home and not be out with the husband who was trying to kill her. What a weirdo. Oh, Judy. Poor Judy. Oh, man. Maybe Judy's brother is Jim McIntyre.
Council ready to proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Everyone please be seated. All right, in case number 2024-R67,
You're great, Ken. Anytime.
the jury having reached a verdict of guilty
Please
as to
come back
all
for the next
12
one.
counts in the indictment, is the
Anderson.
state ready to proceed with sentencing?
The state is ready to proceed with sentencing, Your Honor.
Is the defense ready to proceed?
Defense ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Does the state have evidence in aggravation?
And one statement that I will ask Ms. Ashdown, our victim witness advocate, to read. So the state would call, at this, would the court like me to proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
At this time, the state would call Megan Mevin to the stand. Ms. Mevin will be speaking on behalf of the family of Mindi Mevin.
She might be more comfortable just sitting up there. Please raise your right hand before you're seated.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. I just ran up the stairs, so sorry if I'm...
Just hold on.
All right. I've kept up with the entire trial and decided to drive 3 hours this morning to be here because I couldn't let this chapter of my life end without at least saying something. Unlike you, I have cried a lot over the last few weeks. My thoughts, anxiety, and emotions have been a roller coaster. They have been all over the place while having to deal with this trial. I go through anger, sadness, frustration, grief, stress, and every feeling that you can think of. You lived with us for 15 months
Oh,
with providing months
Megan.
that I will never be able to get back. At times when you lived with us, I told you how your actions had affected me. And this impact statement isn't much different. Whether you take away anything from this, that is not my intention at this point. You've shown no guilt and absolutely no remorse. You haven't even shed a tear. You thrive on the illusion of power and attention. You're a pathological liar, sociopath, psychopath, murderer. You thought you were so much smarter than everyone else, but you aren't. You wanted people to believe you were a victim of abuse, while you were the one being abusive, at least mentally, for me and our family. I can no longer trust people in the same way as I did before you continuously lied and ultimately took Mindy's life. There will always be some questions that will go unanswered, mindset, and that is one I will never understand. Mindy was bright, beautiful, empathetic, confident, independent. She loved music and making others feel special. She always put her family and friends first. Once my husband Frank and I had our daughter, Mindy wanted to choose a name that was different than the traditional aunt name. She decided on Lulu. She was never able to hear her sweet niece call her that. My daughter was 5 months old when y'all moved in. She will never know the fun times they experienced together. I'm thankful my daughter does not remember the 15 months you lived with us and sat right next to her at the dinner table. My daughter will never be able to experience the love her Aunt Mindy would have continued to give her. Mindy was taken too soon. No one should have to live through the violent and gruesome murder of a family member. You're a very evil man. When I learned the news of what really happened to Minnie, some of my first thoughts were that I couldn't believe that evil man's daughter. You have no remorse for what you did. This loss has impacted so many beyond our family. The emotional wound you have caused will never heal. We have come to heaven now, free from the trials and sorrows of this earth. We have overcome hatred, darkness, and evil. She is looking down on us now. We are done being victims. We are taking back our lives. Since I'm a science person, I'm going to quote Isaac Newton. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Our family believes you deserve the maximum sentence. Life without possibility will indeed have a role. You deserve to sit in prison for the rest of your life and think about Mindy every single day. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, this time the state would call Morgan Paddock.
You can raise your right hand.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
There are people literally all over this world that have been impacted by Mindy's life, and I'm here to speak on behalf of them. My high school friend, but after moving to Savannah, all of my college friends became her friends too. My roommates became her roommates. My church group became her church group. This entire trial has rightly been focused on what happened to Mindy, but Mindy was so much more than what happened to her. She was a bright light, vibrant, generous, funny, caring, a defender of others, passionate, trustworthy, and so much more. If anyone in her life would have been in her position, she would be standing right here today speaking for them. Nick, you slowly and strategically tried to dampen her light, isolating her from the people she deeply loved, robbing her of time, laughter, creating memories and peace, always living in fear and isolation. She loved you and trusted you to tell her the truth, to protect her, to live out your marriage vows. And yet you were the one that she needed. Protection will have an eternal impact on those that loved her. There are dinner tables and holiday pictures and memories that will be absent of her. There are little girls growing up without their fairy godmother. There are friends who will always ache to dress up and go out for drinks again. Email inboxes void of her opinions on the latest happenings in politics. Friends who can't expect her to stand with them in their proudest and hardest moments. Friends who won't have her in the audience of their concerts or harassing them for their latest released music. My everyday life in Savannah is now filled with the awareness that my friend was living and suffering within walking distance of my house. And I never knew. I will never be able to drive down 65th Street, go to at our local shoe store without being haunted by the fact that you were frequenting all of those places for 5 months while my friend of over 20 years was suffering in fear and isolation as I drove mere feet from her driveway. But it's not just me and her friends that will miss out. There are compelling women whose stories she will never get to tell on her podcast. There are strangers who are as fierce as die roll. Your conviction can't bring her back. It just means that you can't do it to anyone else. But every person you've heard from on the stand and the many who are watching right now from a distance will never stop keeping the truth of who she was and her memory alive. I want you to know that today.
Final statement that I'm going to ask to be read into the record. That statement would be read by Ms. Samantha Ashdown, our victim witness advocate, on behalf of Samantha Koyesnik.
The defense will object to the reading of that statement as Ms. victim of the circumstances here is not a victim under the law that would be entitled to read the statement to the court.
Judge, my position on that, as the court is aware, is that this is evidence in aggravation, not in impact.
It is our position. There's no need to swear.
To the court and to the Honorable Judge Samantha Kolesnik, and I am of the defendant, Nicholas Kassotis, aka Nicholas Stark. Glad of voicing he during this trial, and you were able to hear
Sorry, guys.
I trembled taking the stand to testify. It was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but I did it because I feel Nicholas is a true and constant danger to everyone he meets. In admitting I was defrauded by a man I met online, and that my privacy would be forever gone. I testified anyway because I strongly feel accountable. Ms. Bayo, ADA for the prosecution, mentioned ripples from Nicholas's dropping stone as an analogy for an impact of his choices. I am one ripple. I have not been the same since I found out about his deception from Agent Sands, and I will never be the same again. On the date of was not his real name, and that Nicholas had been lying to me, my entire world turned upside down. My sense of trust shattered. I felt humiliated, deceived, traumatized, and unsure if I would ever be able to feel joy or hope or trust again. I also felt stupid and will continuously be called stupid stupid and gullible by some in the public eye. As a result of trusting a man, as a result of employee of the Pentagon, a man trusted Nicholas, and he knew it. And he privately relished and delighted in lying to them and in abusing that trust. He is a man who delights in deception, a man who thinks he's smarter than everyone in the room he walks in. I also felt terrified beginning on the date of his arrest and thereafter, and will forever be haunted by what he cross team had not tracked, found, and arrested Nicholas Stark, aka Kassotis, when they did. I fully believe that the wonderful law enforcement agencies of Georgia saved my life that day, and I will be forever grateful to them for saving me from the evil man who goes by many names, one of them being Nicholas Stress Disorder, as a result of Nicholas Stark's cruel actions towards me. I have nightmares, flashbacks, and panic attacks. I lock my bedroom door at Kassotis. I feel raped by him. I was not allowed to consent to a romantic and intimate relationship with Nicholas because he lied about his entire identity to me. There was no opportunity for true consent, and he ensured that with his vast network of lies. This is called rape by fraud, but unfortunately is not recognized in Pennsylvania, so all I could do was pursue an annulment on the basis of his fraud. I am sure Nicholas Stark, since he is a lawyer after all, knew those statutory feels 1 ounce of shame or remorse for his deceptions against many people, including those he perpetrated against me. He has sat in this courtroom and has attempted to make every mockery of it with his smug expressions, his arrogant demeanor, and his lack of tears as his victims, one after the other, have talked about how he deceived them. I beg and implore and plead to the court, please give this man the maximum sentencing. And please, if at all possible, by sentencing protocol and legislation, please do not allow this man to do pay or in any way profit from his crimes. Nicholas, desire to humiliate and defraud others, will absolutely try to profit off his crimes in prison. Please do not allow Nicholas to write books or to sign movie deals or even take paid interviews. He must not be allowed to extract any more from the victims than he already has taken so much. I also ask that he not be granted any chance for parole. A man who lies as much as Nicholas has and will always be. Sincerely, Samantha Kolyasnik.
Thank you.
Those are the only evidence of aggravation that the state intends to present. Do you wish the state's argument, or do you wish to have mitigation
I'll hear
first?
from the defense.
Certainly.
Does the defense have any evidence in mitigation?
Just like to present the defendant's mother to testify in English.
You may.
Father, sorry, father. Is it your honor? Defendant calls Wayne Kassotis.
You can come up here, sir.
I'm excited for you here, Your Honor.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Can we swear you in, sir?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the
Oh,
whole
this ought to be good.
so help you God?
Absolutely.
What kind of excuses are we going to hear now?
Yes, sir.
Last over 2 years have been hell for all of us, including Nicholas. Although I don't agree with the verdict that was reached in this court that the jury reached, I do respect the process. They have no idea who Nicholas was. Nicholas is a kind, gentle man that has touched thousands of lives, both as a civilian and as a military person. Nobody saw pictures of him helping underprivileged children in South America as a naval officer. Nobody saw him helping friends as he was growing up. He is truly a wonderful, from the beginning when this all broke, from the lies that Agent Sand told her family members, believed that this was possible, and we still do not believe that this is possible. We know the person sitting there, our son, is a kind and gentle person that would not do this, and there's really no evidence that showed that he did. And look at the man who he is and who always will be.
A lying murderer.
Thank you, Mr. Kassotis. Thank you very much.
The defense calls the defendant's mother
Linda Kassotis.
Ma'am, you're welcome to stand here, or you can go up there.
Stand here.
If you please raise your right hand.
Do you swear or affirm testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes. Thank you. Your Honor, sorry we are for Mindy's family that they had to go through this. We have never spoken since we heard the news of Mindy's death, but we feel incredible sympathy for them that they're not responsible for this. We know him to be a kind and gentle person. As you know from the testimony, we had not been in touch with him for years. A member of our family suffered as a result of that. People missed him so desperately. My mother said she had never gone to Christmas without seeing or hearing from him. And suddenly he was gone from our lives, and we had no idea why. He is a good and kind and gentle person. The thought that he could take someone else's life is just unbelievable. I respect the jury's work that they did, but they got, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else, Mr. Johnson?
No, Your Honor.
All right, this time I'll hear argument from counsel.
Your Honor, this case that we spent the last 2 weeks present for and listening to all of the testimony. As a result, I don't plan to go over any of that. I think Morgan may have said it best when she described how Mindi and her life impacts the world. When a sentence evaluate not just how it impacts the defendant, but the message of rehabilitation, if possible, versus punishment, if necessary. The law in the state of Georgia entitles on a murder conviction only 3 options, essentially. The death penalty, life without parole, life with the possibility of parole. In this case, Your Honor, the defendant additionally facing additional crime can run conviction. That would be the death of another, which he faces up to 10 years, possession of a knife during commission of a felony, which is mandatory 5 years consecutive, although it could be, of course, probated. And then all of the possession of tools for the commission of the crimes, facing up to 5 years for each of those. And then the 2 misdemeanors are, of course, up to 12 months. That is more than what I would refer to as natural life. The state's position, Your Honor, is that the defendant should never be released from prison, that he is a danger to society, that his testimony before this court was fraud, he was dishonest, that he perjured himself, and that, of course, is the state's position. I'm sure counsel for the defense would disagree, and I think that goes to the question, however, of whether or not there is remorse or whether there is some validation to something less than life without parole. The jury has now decided that not only his life, but that he threw garbage across 3 miles with the hope that no one would ever catch him. If that depravity could not be any worse conduct to deserve every detail down, we would not be here today. And so, Your Honor, it is the state's position that the defendant in this case should, the state will defer to the court with respect to all of the other counts, as I essentially believe that they are, you can't get more than forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tatum.
Your Honor, the jury has rendered its verdict. While obviously we don't agree with that, we understand that is your obligation to sentence him under that verdict. Mr. Kassotis is a highly educated man. He's a man that served his country honorably. You've heard a lot of testimony, not just from his parents, but from witnesses on the stand of his kindness. I think there is an opportunity for rehabilitation in this case, especially given his past. So I would ask the court to sentence him to life with the possibility of parole. Those other counts that can be served concurrently, that the sentence have them served concurrently. I understand there's one count that must be consecutive. So that's the position of the defense, Your Honor.
He'll never get parole because he won't admit he did it.
And Mr. Weinstein, your client has the right to address the court if he so chooses.
No.
Let me verify. I'll be addressing the court, Your Honor.
And have him stand for sentencing. Mr. Kassotis, a jury of 12 citizens in Liberty County has now determined beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty of the offense of murder, along with 11 other counts. This jury has spoken very clearly. It is now my duty under the law to impose a sentence that is consistent with that verdict. It is also my duty efficiency of that evidence. And sir, the evidence in this case is supported by a mountain of compelling evidence. This case has revealed a level of depravity that truly shocks the conscience. To put together this elaborate scheme, this web of lies, creating this fictional character, Jim McIntyre, who does not exist. You wrote fiction, and your life was a fiction, at least the last 6 or 7 years. And then you carried out, or the evidence shows that you carried out a brutal, horrific, gruesome murder of Mindi, someone who's been described by various witnesses as beautiful, kind, loving, vibrant, smart. And all of her hopes and dreams vanished in an instant. Her life tragically cut short by you. Someone who professed to love her, to care for her. And then you desecrated her body in such a vile way, discarding her remains out in a rural area of Liberty County, hoping that they would never be discovered. This shows beyond all doubt that you have no conscience. When I described to this jury this morning the elements of the crime of malice murder, the language used in the Georgia statute is that the circumstances show an abandoned and malignant heart. That describes you. You have caused so much harm to your own family, to all of those who have been impacted by your deeds. This is truly a heinous crime. So the court has considered all the facts and circumstances of the case. And the court will now impose sentence that reflects the gruesome nature of your criminal conduct. As to count 1, malice murder, the court hereby imposes a sentence of life without the possibility of parole. Although you've been convicted in count 2 of felony murder, that count would merge into count 1. As to count 3, the sentence of the court for aggravated assault is 20 years to serve in the state penitentiary, and it runs consecutive to count 1. Count 4, concealing the death of another, the sentence of the court is 10 years to run concurrently to count 1. Count 5, possession of a knife during the commission of a felony. It's required to be consecutive, so the court imposes a sentence of 5 years consecutive to count 1. As to count 6, possession of tools for the commission of a crime, the court imposes a sentence of 5 years to serve, and that shall run concurrently to the other counts. The court will impose the same sentence on count 7, 5 years to serve, running concurrently. As to count 8, possession of tools for the commission of a crime, again, the court will impose a sentence of 5 years to run concurrently. As to count 9, possession of tools for the commission of a crime, the court imposes a sentence of 5 years, again, to serve concurrently. As to count 10, possession of tools for the commission of a crime, the court imposes a sentence of 5 years to be served concurrently. Counts 11 and 12 are both misdemeanors. They carry a maximum sentence of 12 months. The court will impose a sentence of 12 months as to each count, counts 11 and 12, and they shall run concurrently. The totality of the sentence being a sentence of life without parole plus 20 years to serve. Sir, you have a right to seek post-judgment relief from your convictions of these crimes. And you can do that by filing a motion for new trial or filing a direct appeal to the appellate court. That will have to be filed within 30 days of today's date with the clerk of Superior Court in Liberty County, Georgia. If a motion for new trial is made and the court denies it, you will then have 30 days from the filing of that order to file with the clerk a notice of appeal to the appellate level. You also have a right to file a petition for habeas corpus. And that would have to be filed within 4 years of the date that the sentence and judgment in this case is deemed to be final. If you cannot afford an attorney to pursue your appellate relief, a lawyer will be appointed for you, and I'm sure that Mr. Weinstein will discuss with you all of your appellate rights. Is there anything else that needs to be placed on the record before the defendant is remanded to custody?
Your Honor, I just want to clarify, the court indicated life without parole for count 1, 20 years to serve consecutive on count 3, and 5 years to serve consecutive on count 5. Is that correct?
Correct.
And that would be life without parole plus 20.
That is mandatory by law.
Correct. I just wanted to clarify.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the only position on state.
He is remanded to custody. Court stands adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, guys, we got another one in the books. Thank goodness it was a fast verdict. I don't want to have to wait all weekend for this one. Yay. I cannot believe his parents backed them up. Cannot believe, after all the things he said about his parents, that they stole him from a diplomat in England. Man, what a freak. What a freak. No way. No way. Okay. That is it for that one. We finished another one, guys. Okay, now we're going to go finish the Phil Spector trial. So we got about maybe a half hour into that one. I'm going to start it over because of the tech issues, because StreamYard does not play nice with Court TV's website. So we're going to try again. I'm going to do it for as long as I can deal with the tech issues because it drives me insane. I got a lot of suggestions for the next trials of the past, but I'm really kind of wanting to do one that we can do from YouTube. I will put up the poll on Monday. Donna Adelson is going to start on the 22nd, which is Friday. Why are they starting on a Friday? So opening statements is going to be on Friday. Jury selection starts Tuesday. So I'll put up the poll. When should I put up the poll? Saturday? I was going to give you guys through the weekend for suggestions, but I've got a good list of suggestions. So maybe I'll put up the. When should I put up the poll? Sunday night, and then maybe we should maybe take Monday off, and then we can start our new trial of the past on Tuesday. And get started on trial of the past, and then when Adelson starts, we can do Adelson. That sounds good. And I'll get an extra day off this weekend. That sounds good. I don't know. I do what you guys want. I don't know. Tell me what you want. Okay. All right. Nope. Nope. And even if he had been given a chance at parole, he would have never gotten it. Because to get parole, you have to be remorseful. And he's not even going to admit that he did it. You can't be remorseful if you don't admit that you did it. He is a special kind of evil. Special kind of evil. He manipulated so many people. So many people. And people that loved him, too. People that loved and cared about him. He stole money. He stole time, love, caring, consideration, all these things that's not tangible things, which is even worse in my opinion. The untangible things, the things that you do for people because you care about them and you love them and you want to give them a good life and existence. Those are the things he stole, not physical things that can be replaced. He stole the most important things that you could give to a person. That's why I say he's a special kind of evil. And he stole their daughter, their friend. And God knows what he would have done to Samantha. Thank God they caught him before he did anything to her. Yeah, because he admitted it finally. And I still have got to watch the documentaries about him. Because I was not watching anything because I wanted to be fresh for the trial. I still don't know what evidence they have on him except for the knife sheath that they found with his DNA on it. And they didn't in the documentary that I watched last night about Koberger studying rollings. I didn't see anything. They didn't say anything about evidence. They just said that he studied rolling. They didn't go into any evidence of the case. So I still don't know why they think he did it. But I guess they saw his car on a video camera nearby or something. And they have evidence, but like I was going into the case not thinking that he did it, but not knowing whether he did it or not. So I was ready to, open-mindedly look at all the evidence and be like the jury. And then he admitted it, and I was shocked. Let me tell you, when he pled guilty, I was shocked. Because I had no idea. I was anxious to watch the trial and watch all the evidence play out and everything. Okay. So, I do not have it set up to redirect because I'm winging it today, y'all. I haven't felt good this week. Oh, the stepdaughters came over last night, and they said they told Travis they were coming over, but Travis didn't know they were coming over. And they knocked on the door, And I was like, is that someone? Because we never get visitors, ever. We live way back out in the middle of nowhere. And I was like, is that someone knocking on the door? And Travis was like, yeah. And he got up and it was them. And I have been in a lot of pain. I think it's the fibromyalgia. It's my knees and my elbows, so it's my joints, but I don't think it's the arthritis because usually not all four, four joints hurt at the same time when it's the arthritis. So I think it's fibro, and I think it's probably weather. It's probably that storm that's about to turn into a hurricane that's off the coast of Florida in the Atlantic. So I've had a rough week. So they came in, and I just went to my bedroom and went to bed because I didn't know they were coming in. I felt like crap. So I have not felt well this week at all. So I'm just winging it. So I hope, please tell me that I seem put together because I am not. Not at all. I am not. Yeah, that's about all I know about the case. Literally. That's all I know about the case. Is that. Does anybody know? Has he said anything about a motive or anything? Was there one person? I think Judy did tell me there was like one person that they think was the target, and then he just killed the other people because they were there. I don't know. I am planning to one day um, look at the documentaries about him. This weekend, now this is my plan for this weekend. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. Because I did not watch the Charlie Adelson trial. So I don't know anything about the Donald Adelson case other than that Dan Markel was married to Wendy Adelson and they had a bitter divorce, and she had her brother hire a hitman to kill her husband and her mom did. I don't know. See, I don't know this case. All I know is that Donald Adelson was trying to flee the country and she got arrested, and now she's going to trial next week. And we're doing that case. So, the 3-part documentary is on Brian Koberger. Yeah, I want to watch that. I just haven't had a chance to yet. So I want to watch that. But this weekend, I'm going to watch as much as I can find on Donna Adelson so I can give you guys a little bit of info about the case. I may even, if I'm feeling productive and not in pain, she was a contestant on Wheel of Fortune. Oh my gosh. I might throw together a live stream. I'm used to making videos about cases. I don't know if I can throw together a live stream that's just talking about a case because I've never done that before. But I might try. I don't know. I always have good intentions in there. I'm like Alice in Wonderland. I have good intentions that I never end up doing. But I might do that. So we're all kind of up to speed. Because there's been how many trials now? Because Charlie Adelson... Okay, so Dan Markel's the victim. There's Charlie Adelson, which is Wendy Adelson. Wait, I gotta start over again. Dan Markel's the victim. He was married to Wendy Adelson Markel. Charlie Adelson is Wendy Adelson's brother. Donna Adelson is their mother. Charlie Adelson's girlfriend hired an ex-boyfriend of hers to kill Dan Markel. So the ex-girlfriend's been arrested, the hitman's been arrested, or in prison now, like arrested and charged and found guilty. Charlie has been. Wendy testified in his trial and was granted immunity, but not complete immunity, just immunity for whatever she testified in that trial. And I was not streaming trials when he went on trial, so I didn't do it and I didn't watch it. So he's in prison now. And then Donna Adelson was going to Vietnam. Was it Vietnam, Judy? I think it was Vietnam. Because they don't have an extradition. Extradition? Is that the word? Is that the right word? I don't know. Whatever that word is, they can't send her back to us. So she was fleeing the country when she was arrested at the airport. So her trial is next week. And this is all over a custody battle between Wendy Adelson and her ex-husband, Dan Markel. Yes, Vietnam. Okay. Yes, I do believe that Wendy knew about this. And I think that she needs to be in jail too, but I don't know that she's ever going to be. Oh, yay. I do have the facts right. I do know stuff. Look at that. Okay. So now I'm going to try to fight with Court TV's website and StreamYard and hopefully finish this Phil Spector trial. So I will see you guys over there if you're going with us. If not, thank you for watching this trial with me. It has been fun. This was, I hate to say that. We are creepy, guys. True crime fans are creepy. I didn't know she was an attorney too. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yes. This one was entertaining as all of the bombs dropped. And I like the prosecutor. I like her a lot. So, okay, so I'll see you guys over at Phil.